There we go. Okay, so let's start and we'll just do a little kind of loosening up of the body to get going.
Am I in a good place or do I need to sit further back?
I usually like to have people sit at the first third of the chair.
Okay.
So your sit bones are firmly on it, but your legs, your thighs are mostly off.
Okay. And do you can you see me okay?
I can see you, yeah. I mean, it's a little dim, so I might ask once in a while how things are going.
Is that better?
Oh, that is better. Perfect.
Okay. So don't sit full back, like sit. Okay.
Sit a little forward in the chair. That also helps you to keep your body very vertical because you're thinking more about your posture and it feels less like sitting in a chair at your desk.
Okay.
So let's put our hands on our thighs and let's just start with a little deep breathing. So inhale yourself a little taller and exhale your sit bones down into the chair. And we'll just do that for 4. Inhale up. Exhale your sit bones down into the chair. Inhale up. Exhale your sit bones down into the chair. And while you're breathing, really think about how it's the diaphragm muscle that really helps you breathe. So it pushes up and then it settles down. So your breathing action is this whole column of your torso. And breathing works much better when your posture is better. So breathe up and breathe down. Exhale down into your sit bones. Okay, so now let's just do a little bit of cat-cow. So we'll keep our hands firmly on our thighs. We'll inhale our chest forward and look up at the ceiling. And then we'll exhale, drop the head and curve the back toward the back of the chair with a kind of a tortoise back. And then we'll inhale up, chest forward, chin up, look up at the sky. Exhale down, curve your back toward the chair, let the shoulders come forward a little bit, look down at your knees or your thighs. Inhale up. And exhale back down. Now let's come to center and we'll just do a couple of twists. So is this your right hand?
Yes. And I can already tell that I'm very, very tight in the hip and low back area. So I'm just gonna have to be careful of that right now as well. That's very.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So we'll just proceed gently. So let's take our right hand to our left knee. Oh, we do have someone else.
Oh, good.
This is Joan. Okay. Here she is. Good morning. Connecting to audio. There we are. Good morning, Joan. So we're just starting with some easy breathing in the chair. We did a couple of cat-cows. So we're sitting with our sit bones on the front third of the chair. And maybe do a couple of cat-cows, and Barbara and I are going to move into a twist. So start just loosening your back and then join us. We're going to put our right hand on our left knee, our left hand on the chair back, and just very gently turn. Don't go further than feels comfortable for you. So if that's still looking forward or kind of a diagonal, you don't need to twist all the way to the side. But just put a little pressure with that right hand on your left knee to just create a little leverage and bring yourself around a little bit. And breathe here. Feel the height in your body. Inhale a little taller, exhale a little deeper. Inhale once more, and then let's come back to center. How did that feel?
Good.
Okay, so let's do the other side. We'll take the left hand, put it on the right knee, put the right hand on the chair behind us. And again, just using some gentle leverage on that right knee with the left hand. Just push yourself around a little bit. Inhale taller, exhale deeper. Inhale again. Let's come back to center. So you're having a little tightness in the hips?
But that was helping. That feels good. I just have to make sure that I stay, have the good posture.
Yeah, okay, well, let's do this. Let's raise our arms up overhead. Very straight and tall. Look at the ceiling and just do a slight bend to the left. Breathe here. Exhale back to center and a slight bend the other way. Come back up to center. Release down. Let's just roll our shoulders 3 or 4 times back and 3 or 4 times forward. Okay, I think to open the hips a little, let's heel toe our feet apart, not too far, just wherever you feel comfortable. How's that?
Good.
Okay, so we want to try to build a little strength in the more open hip position. So let's start with our legs in this position and our hands on our knees. And see if you can tilt your weight into your feet, bring your torso forward at a diagonal, and just press up out of the chair just an inch and sit back down. How does that feel?
It's good.
Okay, let's just do 10 of those, just to bring some warmth into that area, not through stretching, but through a little muscular effort. So just up and down, up and down. If we warm the hips first, then we try to stretch them, it'll be a little safer. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we should be feeling a little warmer. So let's keep our legs in that position, and we're going to do some Garuda arms, the eagle arms. So let's wrap our right arm under our left. Keep the upper arms about parallel to the floor. Let's just tilt forward. So those forearms are at about 90, and then come back up. And while you're doing this, you're really stabilizing with the legs and hips and activating the core. So the lower body isn't moving, but you're feeling a lot of strength and stability in the lower body. So you're not putting a lot of strain on it, but you are working it.
More like I'm stretching down from my shoulders and upper back.
Yes.
Okay.
And how does that feel?
That feels good. If I stretch too far, that hurts, but.
Oh, no, don't go to where it hurts. Just do a little bit. So now we're warming the upper body, but we're keeping that lower body activated with some slightly open hips. Just do 2 more here. Let's come back to center. And let's twist the arms the other way. Maybe shake them out first, and then we'll go the other way. And now instead of going forward and back, we'll go side to side. So just tip a little bit side to side. And again, feeling a nice gentle stretch in the side body. And the left as you lean to the right, and the right as you lean to the left. Still keeping that lower body calm but active, and using your core to stabilize the movement. And then release down, shake out the arms, bring the knees back together. And let's just roll the shoulders a little bit. How did that feel? Okay, let me know if anything starts to be too much. So from here, I thought we'd do a little bit of core work. So let's start with our right leg. And you can either hold the chair and lift the leg independently, or you can lace the fingers under the thigh, whichever is more comfortable for you. And we're just going to raise and lower that leg with a flexed foot. So this is really, you should be feeling this through your core and your lower back. Try to keep your back very straight. Don't tip back into the chair, just sit up straight. So we're just lowering, lifting and lowering that leg 10 times. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And release down. Take a breath. Sort of reassess your posture. Is your torso very straight? Shoulders down away from the ears, back broad. And then we'll do the other side. So inhale up, exhale down. We'll do 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that feeling okay on the hips?
Yes, they just have to, I noticed when we were stretching them out the other way, they kind of have to warm them up back again to be straight.
Okay, well, we're gonna alternate them. So again, you can either hold them with your hands and then you just lift, one arm, one leg, or hold the chair. And let's just kind of alternate so it's like marching.
Yeah.
Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, relax down. Now your core area should be feeling a little more warmed up by now. So we're going to move on to something a little more challenging. We're going to lift one leg. Let's do the right leg first. Now you can hold it with your hands under the thigh. And so extend that leg forward with a flexed foot. And we're going to do some ankle circles. So let's rotate that foot 5 times to the left. And then 5 times to the right. When you're finished with that, you may not want to do this, but if you want to do it, see if you can release the hands, come to prayer hands, and just hold that extended foot for 5 breaths. If that's too much, just hold it.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what the extension on my knee, I have to be very careful.
Oh, okay, then definitely don't do that. Is it both knees or just the one?
Both actually, but as long as that was fine, as long as I take my time, but I wouldn't want to let go with my hands.
Okay, then definitely do not let go with your hands. Joan, how are you doing?
Good.
Okay, so let's all just hold on with our hands and let's just hold it for 5 breaths, really letting the weight be in the arms, but
same leg.
A gentle hamstring stretch from having the leg extended. So just breathe in and out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release down. And let's take the other leg and do the other side. And again, hold it firmly so that you're not putting any undue stress on the knee. And we'll just rotate that ankle. When you've done 5 or 6, go the other way. And then let's strongly flex the foot. Keep good support under the thigh, and we'll just breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release down. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to go. So again, stop me if you don't like this, but let's try keeping our sit bones at the very front of the chair. And we're going to allow our back to tilt back toward the back of the chair at a diagonal. So don't slump. Keep your back at a nice, I'll come sideways so it's easier to see. So you want to keep your back at a nice angle, very straight. Put your hands under your legs and see if you can lift them up into half boat. How does that feel?
I can lift one leg up, but I wouldn't want to do both.
Okay, so let's just do one leg. So we're going to just have that leg. We're going to extend it and bend it. Extend it and bend it. And here we're really starting to stretch that hamstring, but with a lot of protection from holding the thigh with our hands. So we'll do 3 more on this side, and then we'll release down and switch. And let's release down. Take a breath here. Then grasp the other leg firmly with 2 hands. Lift it up into the half boat position. Make sure you're set up properly, that your back is nice and straight, that you're sitting at the front of the chair. And then just gently extend it and bend it back. And think about your alignment. And think about keeping your chest nice and broad and open, and using your breath to power the movement. We'll do 3 more here. And then we'll release down. And now just to relax everything that we've just worked, let's separate our knees a little bit, put the soles of our feet together, and just flutter the knees a little bit. Roll the shoulders, and just feel a little bit of relaxing movement in all the areas that you've worked. Okay, so from here, we're going to do some traditional yoga poses on the chair. So again, if at any point anything's too much. Now, you broke one of your toes. Which foot was that?
It was my right foot, and last year it was my left knee. So basically, because of compensation and everything, just both knees and
so
both
both
feet.
sides are a little tricky. Okay,
Yes.
so we'll just do this as gently as we can. And again, we can stop if anything is too much.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
But we're going to start with our right hip toward the back of the chair and our left leg extended. So this is like a warrior 1 position. If this is too much, I have another client who likes to do her warrior 1, like really with the leg toward the middle of the room.
Okay.
So anywhere along this that works for you is fine. So you're opening the hip a little bit by doing this, but you don't have to do too much. So then we're going to have the hips square to the front of the mat. That front right leg is at a nice 90-degree angle. The back is straight. We're just going to lift our arms up to the ceiling, look up, and then release them down. So you're feeling a little bit of a back bend feeling there. And you're thinking about keeping that right hip a little tucked back and that left hip a little tucked forward to give you a nice square, like boxy hips toward the front of the room. Inhale up, exhale down. How do these feel? And think about keeping your shoulders down, away from your ears, but your back nice and broad. And on the up, you really want to try to get your upper arm by your ear. So that gives you that nice shoulder flexion that leads into the back bend. So we'll do 2 more of these. And then release your hands down. And we're going to do a little twist toward the back of the chair. So take your left hand on your right knee, your right hand on the back of the chair, and just look over the back of the chair and hold for 4 breaths. So it's a twist. Your hips are still very square to the front, but your torso is twisting and your shoulders and chest are opening toward the back of your chair. Now let's come back to center. And now we're going to open the hips, which are now facing in front of the mat, to the side, the long side of the mat. So it's more of a warrior 2 position. So if you want, you can move that back left leg further out. So you're in more of a straight line. So you've got your front right knee bent at 90, that foot, the toes are facing the front of the mat. The back leg is going back at a diagonal and it's straight. There's no bend in the knee. The foot is flat on the floor and the toes are pointing into the room a little bit, like at a 45. And just lift your arms here and feel your body coming very straight up out of your hips. So you're making T arms and you're just holding that warrior 2 position with the help of the chair, and then look forward over your right hand. And let's breathe here. Thinking about our alignment. If someone came along with 2 panes of glass and put one behind you and one in front, you'd be pretty flat. Let's take another breath here. Inhale, and then on the exhale, we're going to let our left hand drop down to our left thigh and our right arm come up overhead and look up toward your palm. This is the reverse warrior. And we'll just breathe a couple of breaths here, feeling that nice stretch through the right side body. Inhale, and then on the exhale, we're going to let the arms come back to level. We're going to lean forward a little over our right knee and let that right elbow come down to the right knee. So this is side angle pose. And we're going to bring the left arm up overhead, follow the palm with your eyes until it comes all the way over your head. And now you're feeling a huge stretch in your left side body. And again, you're pretty much between 2 panes of glass. And just feel that nice long stretch supported by your strong legs and your elbow on your knee. Let's breathe here for a couple of breaths. Inhale, and then we will release back up and heel toe the feet back to center. So how was that sequence for everybody?
Good.
That was gentle?
Yeah, and that was one that I actually almost feel like I would have done better standing up instead of in the chair. I'm not sure.
Well, I think the chair is providing a little support. We're going to get to standing in the next sequence, but let's just kind of see where we are, and then we'll move on to our feet. So let's do that on the other side just to keep symmetrical. As Nicole says, otherwise you'll be walking in the circle all day. So we're going to move our left hip to the left side of the chair and extend the right leg back. And again, you can experiment with how far back you put it.
Okay.
And you can also, as you bring those hips square, you can come onto the tucked toes and let a little bend come into your knee, or you can keep the foot flat with the toes pointing at a 45. So whichever is more comfortable for you. One is more like a lunge, one is more like a warrior one. If you do have the foot flat, make sure to press out a little with the ankle so that the arch doesn't collapse onto the floor. Keep some integrity in the foot. And we're going to face the front of the mat. Make sure our hips are square and just raise our arms up overhead. Look at the ceiling and then exhale back down. When you come up on the inhale, really think about a little bit of a back bend and getting those arms up by the ears, fingertips active, pointing toward the ceiling, and then release down. We'll do 3 more of those. Inhale up. Maybe bend a little further back each time. Exhale down. Inhale up. Really looking up as high as you can. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale your arms up overhead. Eyes up toward the ceiling. And then release down. Now we'll go into the twist. Let's take our right hand on our left knee, our left hand on the chair behind us, and twist, opening our chest to the chair back and looking out at the wall behind us. And we'll breathe here for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we'll release back to center. And we'll open up into our warrior 2 pose, opening those hips to the long side of the mat and raising our arms to the sides. So from here, check your alignment. You want that right leg extended straight diagonal behind you. That left leg has a nice 90-degree bend. The arms are level. The fingers are shooting out toward the opposite walls. Look forward over your left hand. And just breathe here. Your head is reaching up toward the ceiling. Your feet are firmly grounded into the floor. And if you do like the idea of doing it more of a standing pose, even with the chair under you, you can really put more weight into your feet, press into your feet, gripping the floor. And you're not going to rise off the chair, but you can get that feeling of taking some weight out of your hips and pelvis as if you were about to stand up. And that will make it feel more like a standing pose. And let's take another breath here. Inhale. And on the exhale, let's drop that right arm back to the right thigh or knee. Bring that left arm up overhead. Look up at the hand. Feel that nice long stretch in the left side body. That should go down to your left hip a little bit. Let's breathe here. Inhale here, and on the exhale, come back up with the arms. Let the left arm go to the left knee. Look up at that right hand coming overhead. Follow the palm with the eyes and shoot it overhead. And now we're in side angle. So now we're feeling the long stretch on the right side. And just think about the integrity of your alignment and how you're pretty much in a straight line from your right heel to your right fingers. Breathe here, inhale, and then release the arms back up and heel toe the feet back to the center. How's everybody feeling?
Good.
Good? Okay, so now let's move into a little bit of standing work. We won't do anything that challenges our balance too much, but we will put a little more pressure on our legs. So again, let me know if anything becomes too much. But we're going to face our chair. So you might want to turn sideways for this. Whatever is more convenient for the way your room is set up. But let's stand facing the seat of our chair. And put our palms on it. We'll have our left leg toward the chair, a little bent, and our right leg back. And not too far back, whatever is comfortable for you. And we're just going to move in and out of some pyramids. So we're going to push back, straightening that front left leg, and then bending it. Straighten it and bend it. And so this is a little bit of a hamstring stretch. And you should also feel your back trying to flatten. So you're not hunching into it, but you're really flattening your back here. So let's do 3 or 4 more of those. Okay, and on the next one, let's stop at the pyramid shape. And we're going to keep our left hand, which is the same side as the left front foot, down on the chair. And we're going to open our hips a little bit, the way we did in the warrior 2 pose, and bring that right arm up. So now we're in a triangle pose. And really think about opening your body to the side, maybe rotate that back right foot out a little more toward the middle of the room. If you feel good here, you can drop onto your elbow and make it a deeper stretch. And this is triangle pose. Look up at your hand if that doesn't challenge your balance too much. And we'll just breathe here for a couple of breaths. Let's inhale here, release the hand back down. Bring that right foot back, so now all 10 toes are facing the chair. And we're just gonna hop the left foot back a little bit and let that right leg float up to warrior 3. And when you're in warrior 3, think about keeping your leg and your body in one horizontal line, keeping your right toes facing down toward the floor. Maybe look forward toward your baseboard at the other side of the room. The weight is partly in your palms, but really mainly in that one left standing leg. So we're building strength here in the standing leg. We're using our core to keep our body nice and still and stable. And we're using the whole chain of muscles along the back to keep that leg raised. Let's take a breath here. And if you want to, and I'm not sure whether this will be uncomfortable or not, so use caution. You can bend that raised leg. Very carefully put your weight into your left hand and left foot and grab that back right foot with your right hand. Nice, excellent. Take a breath here, release the foot, bring it to meet the other foot, 2 palms and 2 feet down. Let's just stand up and shake it out. How's that?
That's good.
Good, okay, excellent. So now we'll do the other side. So here we are again, 2 palms on the chair, 2 feet on the floor. Let's step the right foot in just a smidge and the left foot back. Then we'll come back and forth into those pyramids, keeping the back nice and flat and stretching out that right hamstring. . While you're doing this, continue to think about your alignment. Your hips are nice and square and forward. So your right hip is going back a little, your left hip is coming forward. So you're not opening into those warrior two hips yet. Your back is staying nice and flat. You're feeling the weight shift as you move back and forth in the feet, which are gripping very strongly, and all 10 toes are pointing toward the chair. So we'll do 3 more here. Okay, on the last one, let's open that left back foot a little bit, the toes out toward the long side of the mat at a 45. Keep your weight in your right palm and open that left palm up for triangle. Really feel that nice long stretch through the front right ham. If you want, you can drop to the elbow, look up at the hand. And let's just breathe here, thinking about our perfect triangle between the 2 panes of glass, very flat. The hips are open to the side, the pelvis is tucked under a little bit so that you're in a nice straight alignment. We'll breathe once more here. Release the hands back down. Bring the hips back to forward, all 10 toes facing the chair. Maybe hop that front right foot back just a smidgen and then float up that left back leg into warrior 3. Keep your gaze forward. Think about those raised left toes pointing down toward the floor. And really feel the muscles that are making this pose work. Kind of take a mental inventory. What's happening in your hands? What's happening in your right toes? What's happening in the back muscles of both legs? Feel that left hip pressing down a little bit and that right hip pressing back a little bit so that you have a nice stable alignment. Your core is activated. In any balanced pose, if you feel that the balance is challenging, you can always tighten the pelvic floor, and that usually provides a little bit of extra stability. Let's just take a few more breaths here. And then if you want, bend that back left leg. Feel all the weight in your right foot in your right hand, and reach back with your left hand to grab the foot. So this is King Dancer. And just stand here for a few breaths, thinking about how much muscular effort it takes to stabilize a balanced pose, but also how much mental effort. You really need to make your brain and your body work together. From here, release your foot, both hands back to the chair, both feet down. Take a breath, and then stand up and shake it out. Okay, so now we're just going to do a couple of standing starfish just to kind of loosen everything up. So bring your feet maybe 3.5 feet apart. Extend your arms up and out in a big star. Look up at the ceiling. Really activate everything. Stretch everything as much as you can. Take a huge breath. And on the exhale, drop down. Do a wide forward fold. And just hang there and let your body relax. And now your hamstrings should be nicely stretched and warmed up from the work that we did, so that there shouldn't be strain in this pose. There should just be a nice feeling of the hamstrings being ready. So we'll take a breath, we'll swoop back up. We'll do one more of those. Arms and legs extended, look up overhead. Big active inhale. And then exhale everything down and just hang between your wide legs. And when you're in any forward fold pose, like typical forward fold with your feet together, or this one, always remember that you want to keep your hips over your knees and over your ankles. So we don't get any of this leaning the butt back. All these poses, they're sort of like mini downward dogs. So you really want this alignment here. If you lean back too much, you can put strain on your hamstrings. It's not really helpful, and it doesn't develop the strength that the pose is designed to develop. So really think about that. It feels strangely forward weighted because we tend to cant back. So really concentrate on that. You need to use your core a little more on keeping those hips over the knees, over the ankles. And then come up. And we will move into cool down. So I hadn't realized this until this morning, but Nicole has this class listed as 50 minutes. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we better do the cool down then, because we're getting close to the end of the time. Okay, so let's sit back on our chair. And again, sitting, still an active seat, kind of the forward third of the chair. Feet nice and square, ankles under knees, palms on your knees. And let's just do a few spirals. Now, we're pretty warm and loose. And we'll just kind of slow the body down with some gentle spirals. So go around 4 or 5 times. And think about like leading with the rib cage. So the rib cage is forward and it's to the side and it's to the back. And your head is pretty steady. And your hips are pretty steady. So it's that middle of your body that's just kind of moving around. This helps keep some lubrication in the back. Helps you feel symmetrical. Okay. There, let's heel to the feet apart a little bit. Raise the arms up overhead. Look up at the ceiling, take a deep breath, palms forward, and then swoop down to the ground. Now, if you can ever touch the ground, you can always get a block if that is better. No, everyone can touch the ground? Okay, so let's leave our right palm down and swoop our left palm up to the ceiling. Just feel a nice big twist there. Look up at that raised right hand, that raised left hand. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, exhale down. And then let's do the other side. Inhale that right arm up, look up toward the thumb. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale down. Take a breath, exhale, inhale it all back up. Look up overhead. And then let's bring the feet back together and we'll do some twists. So those twists that we did right at the beginning, we're going to put our right hand on our left knee and twist. And then when we come forward, don't release that right hand, bring the left hand across. And we'll just do a little bit of a cat back. And then as we come forward, we're going to twist to the left. So let's just do a few of those. So we're doing a cow into the twist and a cat in the center with the hands crossed and a cow into the left. And a cat into the center with the arms crossed, and a cat into the right. And just do 2 more of those. And now we're just going to do a little bit of a hip stretch, just to make sure that our hips feel good. So let's raise our right ankle over our left knee. Sit up. Think about how that hip feels, if it's a little tight, if it feels more open than it did in the beginning. And we're going to twist across that knee. Just the same twist we did before, not for too long, just kind of getting the sense of it. And then let's come to center and drape forward. And see if we can really put a little pressure into it to open it up. We'll just breathe here for 5. Inhale, come back up, and let's do the other side. So now we're crossing the left ankle over the right knee. Sit up straight. Let's put that right hand on the knee and do a little mini twist. And then come back to center and drape forward over it. And just let the weight of your upper arm and your torso press a little bit on it so it feels encouraged to go down a little further. We'll breathe here, inhaling and exhaling into the stretch, letting gravity help you open the hip as much as it can without hurting it. One last inhale. Exhale. Come back up. Both feet down. And now let's just do one of those sitting starfish stretches. So put your legs out, flexed feet, heels on the ground. Lean back. Your back is going to touch the chair. Stretch your arms up, look overhead, and activate every single muscle in your body. Really tense everything. Your feet, your ankles, your thighs, your calves, your back, your pelvis, your torso, your shoulders, your arms, your fingers. Take a deep breath. And then exhale it all out. Let's do one more like that. Just really feeling every single muscle in your body activate. Big inhale. And then exhale it all down. And come to a seated Shavasana. Let all of the tension drain out of your body. Let your eyes close. And feel yourself melt down into the chair. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Feeling the breath start to slow down, but still deep because of all the lung expansion that you've done. Take a couple more breaths at your own pace. And then start to move the fingers and toes, flutter the eyes open, and come back to center. Arms up overhead. Exhale down. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Allison.
Oh, you're welcome. How was that?
That was wonderful. I'm in Santa Fe. actually.
Oh, nice. How was that?
It's wonderful. We're so enjoying the fresh air and the chill. The weather's beautiful. The foliage is pretty. So, and then this was just the two, after the travel. So thank you.
You're very welcome. The traveling pays ours. You guys are having a great time right now.
We are.
And
Thank
Barbara,
you.
how was that for you?
That was good, and thank you. I had to put my pet rabbit down on Thursday, and so I
Oh.
really needed this.
I'm so
Aw.
sorry.
When you go through something like that, your body and your brain, you need this. So thank you. It was really helpful
Of
too.
course, you're welcome. I'm really sorry to hear that.
We're so sorry.
Thank you.
We have 2 dogs, and we even hated to leave them for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. Well, does anyone have any questions or?
Next week or how?
So I think Kira is going to do next week.
Okay.
Well, we'll see you.
All right.
Thank
Well, nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.